The two openers, Monank Patel, one of the leading run scorers in the tournament, along with Kunwarjeet Singh. We'll try and get you a points table as well to update you on the going so far. Cut away. This is Monali Patel. Joined alongside Lenny Achaibar, and we're ready to take you through the game today.
Thanks, Monali. It's been a good start from Afonso so far.
Calls for catch it! That is an absolute sitter that's gone down. You cannot be dropping those chances. And this is a big life that's been given here. Amila Ponzo, hands on hips, very disappointed with his side.
Yeah, straight into the hands of Paul Palmer. Look at that, at this level, already level that needs to be taken. So we'll make a mark on that, and Kunwarjeet has certainly escaped. Should have been gone without scoring.
Talk about grip and turn. And what I like to see as a spinner is also the amount of bounce that's generated off the surface. I do like that Stephen Taylor's usually very aggressive with his field setting. He's in first flip. Saw him take an absolute blinder of a catch. Calls for catch it, call the catch, and this is another really good catch in first slip. It's the captain who picks this one up.
Yeah, Monank Patel is standing his ground. So we'll have to wait and see. The umpires are having a discussion, but Monank has decided to stay grounded. So we'll have to wait and see what's the call here.
Well, in that replay, it looks like it's clearly gone in the hands. Absolutely no question whatsoever, and he is walking off. Unfortunate for Monank Patel, he goes for just the one run today off 2 deliveries. It's 2 for 1.
Okay. And here, maybe it's here. Yeah. So you're there, so that's not you.
Early breakthrough for the Atlanta Fire. Amila Ponzo starting with some spin early on, and the surface has already shown that it's going to be a difficult surface to bat on against the spinners. There's turn, there's bounce. Checking out the pitch a little bit earlier, you could just see a lot of cracks starting to open up close to that end right there on your screen. Shard Lumba, the new batter out in the middle. Cracks were still quite full, not too much dryness. There is quite a bit of grass as well, dry, not really lush green, but that's a little bit further in that good length area.
Yeah, we've seen in the last couple of days, Monali, that the pitch has something in it for all types of bowling.
I like this. 2 slips in place, pressure on, and end of a really good first over from Amila Ponzo. First over gone, it's 2 for 1. Big wicket and Monank Patel falling early. What an effective first over from Emilio Ponzo. It looks like we're going to continue with spin with Stephen Taylor bringing himself on at the other end, and they keep a slip in place as well. This is what you want to see. When you're on top of a team, you want to keep that pressure on. You want to keep the aggressive field set on as well. And Stephen Taylor has been bowling very well. Very underrated bowler for me. He is.
Yeah, Stephen Taylor has done a lot of bowling with the U.S. team at the international level for sure. The fact is, Manali Kanwarjeet being a left-hander, this could be a very good matchup between the off-spinner and Kanwarjeet Singh.
Tossed up. This is up in the air. There is a fielder getting under it and just out of the reach. And it's also going to run away for 4 runs in not the best of control, Kanwarjeet, as this goes away for 4 runs.
Yeah, the ball was hanging in the air for some time. Certainly beaten by some bit of flight and turn here, as you can see. Yeah, looking to go through the offside. Would have been a good shot had he timed it well. But in the end, it was hanging in the air for a while. And in the end, they pick up a boundary.
Creating chances, creating opportunities, the spinners very early as well. This is game number 1 on this surface, and it's only going to get drier from here on. There is one more game this afternoon as well. It's match day number 3 at Houston Open 2026 as we come to you. Big shout. Looks like it was just a little outside that leg stump line. But I like the flight here from Stephen Taylor.
Yeah, when you've picked up a wicket in the earlier part of the game, it gives the bowling a little bit more flexibility. Manali, we know the spinners, they probably take a little bit more liberty to flight the ball when they've got the batting team under some bit of pressure. 2 gone is 6 for 1.
I'm coming to you live from Prairie View Cricket Complex, a beautiful facility. And if my math is correct, there are 6 grounds here, yeah? Or is it 5? 6 grounds. Really picturesque facility, and you've got to give a lot of credit to the organizers and the ground staff who have done a phenomenal job with the facility, especially because there was a lot of rain, about 3 inches of rain the day before the tournament was scheduled to start.
Yeah, we were on Pv6, so that seemed to suggest that there's 6 turf pitches and maybe a hybrid and a synthetic somewhere along the line.
Oh, what a ripper. That has beaten absolutely everything. Emilio Ponzo is spinning a web out there, and very unlucky for this to run away for 4. It is buys as well. Unlucky for the keeper because that turned a mile.
Yeah, Emilio Ponzo is really bowling well, getting the ball to turn more than anything else. We saw in the previous over, Kanwarjeet should have been caught by Paul Palmer. And then later on, of course, the captain, Manan Patel, was dismissed quite early. And so he's putting on a performance here, aided by the conditions here at Pv6.
Calls for catch it. There was a fielder at short extra cover, just manages to get this over the head. They're living dangerously here at the moment.
Yeah, interestingly, Manali, it goes in the direction of Paul Palmer, so he's put 2 catches down. And while this one was a little bit more of a stretch, from the way things have gone, Emilio Ponzo should have picked up 3 wickets so far if you're counting all those drop catches and along the one that he took, that of Manan Patel. 11 for 1 now.
Quicker. And he's latched onto this. It's going to go all the way for 6 runs. Even with the height of Obis Pinar on the boundary, that That was sailing for 6 from the time that it left the bat.
Yeah, this is a very good fight back shot from Kunwarjit Singh, given a life when he hadn't yet gotten off the mark. And look at that, he smashes this one over the outfield and is gone for a maximum.
2 straight and helped along the way. Just starting to leak runs here, Mila Ponzo. First 2 deliveries were great. The third one fired in and short, and now this completely missing his line to the left-hander.
Yeah, he's got to make all the difference here, Kunwarjit Singh, given a life, but that's how the game goes. We've seen a big shot previous to this ball, and this one flicked away, so a couple of good shots for him. And all of a sudden, Amila has gone for 15 in the over.
Down the ground, there is a fielder, and that's going to be wicket number 2. Going one too many times, Kunwarjit. Ball was certainly there to go for that shot, just didn't get the elevation on this, and Amila Ponzo's now picked up his 2nd wicket.
Yeah, trying to go and clear the area at long on. But this is a big grung we talk about. These are full-size grungs. And look at that, well done, well executed from the man. And a little bit of flair in that. So the 2nd wicket goes down, is 21 for 2.
We just want to see if we can get another replay on this shot, because this shot was certainly on. It was a slightly over-pitched delivery, but if you take a look at his bat, just as he's trying to play through the line, it turns a little bit more than he would have liked. So didn't quite get the middle of the bat. Had he been able to middle it, he would have been able to go over that fielder. 21 for 2. Very early days still.
And the fact is, Aponso, who's been certainly a solid fixture for the Atlanta Five for so many years, he's picked up both. He's really bowled well. Kunwarjit and Monarch Patel back in the shade. And Sharad Lumba, such a quality player, he will have to make do with the others. 21 for 2.
If you're Columbus Falcons, more specifically, if you're a spinner on Columbus Falcons, you're looking forward to that 2nd innings. 3 overs gone, it's 21 for 2. Because you'd expect the turn is only going to get more prevalent as this day progresses. It's another beautiful day though here, isn't it? The mornings are quite comfortable, especially with this nice breeze. At times the breeze gets a bit too strong and it's a bit difficult, especially if you're bowling into the wind. But at the moment, the conditions seem just right. Nice cool day. There's slight overcast as well, just to shield a bit of that harsh sun.
Yes, Manali, and you're getting a chance for probably the first time in the tournament to be in an open air setting. And this is the kind of setting I enjoy a lot. And so welcome to Pv6, where the breeze is cooler. Stephen Taylor.
Not a very short man, Stephen Taylor. He's got a bit of height, and when you're delivering from the top of that height with a little bit of flight, the batter really has to track it all the way down to when it pitches.
Yeah, very experienced bowler, very experienced player. We talked about that yesterday while we were on Com here, did their games. And Stephen Taylor has been playing for the U.S. national team since a lad, all the way back to 2000, all the way back from 2006, 2007. So count those years.
That's going to go for 4. Cut away powerfully as well. A rare poor delivery from Stephen Taylor.
Yeah, what we have seen on these pitches in the last 3 days, Manali, batsmen are playing late. They are allowing the ball to really come off the surface. And look at that, well executed here from Faraz Ali. Finds the gap. And of course, we're still into the power plays, but you look at Stephen Taylor, he's still taking time to really flight the ball.
That's a better line, better length.
Yeah, I liked his approach to flighting the ball. He's bowling what probably we're maybe 50 over bowling here.
Faraz Ali looking a bit uncomfortable. The mid wicket is not as close in for that opportunity right there. A bit more protection now being moved to the offside. What a spectacular catch that is. They are falling like flies at the moment, the Columbus Falcons. Stephen Taylor also part of the wicket takers now and make that wicket number 3. Outstanding work from Atlanta Fire this morning.
Yeah, caught on ball. And sometimes the scorecard will not reflect a brilliant catch from Stephen Taylor, but you've got to see it. You've got to see it to believe it. And Stephen Taylor, up until this point, was bowling so tight. And Faraz Ali not only getting a ball, probably that straightened up on him. Look at that, in 2 minds. In the end, look at Stephen Taylor. One-handed to his left, and that's a very clean catch. Stephen Taylor has picked up his first wicket. It's 26 for 3.
Tell you what, I don't know if he coaches or not, Stephen Taylor, but he should maybe look into becoming a fielding coach because he does take some stunners in the field. A live wire, not afraid to throw his body around. And he is a big, tall man. Great awareness, great agility.
And Manali, it came at a time in which we've seen a couple of drop chances from the Fire team. All through the hands of Paul Palmer, one at earlier on. But thankfully, Stephen Taylor is probably going to lift the inspirational part of the men out in the middle. But the Atlanta Fire has taken 3 wickets so far. Very good start for them.
And to think we're still in the power play. 3 wickets down. Columbus Falcons need to try and slow this down. Agni Chopra, the new batter out in the middle. When you're losing wickets in quick succession, you've got to try and find a way to slow the game down. Try not to allow the bowlers to continue being on top of you like that. 2 slips in place. Tossed up delivery and watched through to the hands of the keeper. Very well bowled. A good over comes to an end. 4 overs gone. It's 26 for 3. Shadley Van Skalkwyk coming into the attack. The first bit of pace that we're going to see so far in the game. Yoga, what do you think of this move? Do you think you'd have given the spinner maybe 1 more over?
Well, we saw yesterday So punt through the cover area, and it will run away for 4. So not a good start here from Shadley, but lovely shot from Sherrod Lumber. Yeah, we saw yesterday Shadley really bowled well. He was one of the standout bowler for the Atlanta Fire. But we also saw towards the end Zishan Maksood, another left-arm spinner who really bowled well. And I want to think because of the way Aponso had gone and Stephen Taylor has gone, Zishan is going to be a key man here along with Shadley to be the seamer.
And just seeing how that last over from Stephen Taylor went, I would have liked to see one more over from the spinners. Not to take anything away from the likes of Shadley, very experienced campaigner, had an outstanding World Cup recently as well. But when you're seeing the surface offer so much for spinners, and you're seeing the batters struggle with that spin, you want to try and keep that pressure on. Just a little bit easier to play the pacers away.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we'll see Zishan Maksood. But in terms of pace and seam options, you've got Shadley, you've got Drysdale, you've got Cameron, if he's in the 11 today, who's played at the international level for Bangladesh. He wasn't so good yesterday, but I want to think that he might not be playing today. Yeah, must-win game here for the Columbus Falcons. They haven't won any of the 2 games that they've played already. Atlanta has a different story. They've won 1, they've lost 1.
I'd really like to see if we can pull up a points table to see where each team is at. Pushed into the offside, a couple of dot balls. There's that man you're speaking of, Zishan Maksood.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll see him later on, but got to say both Amila and Stephen Taylor has done so well. You look at the card and you know that they've really done well at the top.
Pulled away, goes for the short delivery, and it will run away for 4 runs.
Yeah, lovely shot from Agni Chopra, type of player who came to this country with so much reputation, having played top-class level cricket in India.
He's
Part of the major league setup last year. Well, probably didn't have one of the better tournament, but still a quality player.
He's done really well to get that ball where he did, considering he was very cramped for room. That ball rushed him. Better length this time. See if we can try and pull up a replay of that shot one more time as we round off the 5th over. 35 for 3. 1 more over to come in the power play. Have a look at where he's made contact and how close he is to his body. He's done very well to get it in front of square, considering he is as cramped as he is. Stephen Taylor is going to continue with his 3rd. That's picked up beautifully. And it's going to sail all the way for 6 runs. Over pitch delivery. And able to help himself to 6 runs here, Sharad.
Yeah, that's a big shot. And that's the kind of ball that you probably want to play on the off spinner when you're looking to take them out of the playing area. And that's a massive hit from Sharad. That will do their confidence a little better with 3 wickets down.
Tucked around the legs for a single. And all of a sudden, you just start to see a lot more confidence in the batters. This is why I feel like he might have just missed something here by not giving Ponzo one more over.
Yeah, Manali, and when you look back at the Atlanta Fire lineups over the last couple of years, you would see that sometimes they would have the service of Sonny Patel, right arm leggy, who's really served them well. Rishi Pandey, another spinner who has played with this unit. They're not on this tour.
Tossed up delivery this time. It's a play and a miss.
Yeah, a lot of turn and certainly bunks from Stephen Taylor. And the reason he's getting the bunks, he's flighting the ball.
Yeah, flight on offer, tall man as well, so he's got that high release point.
Yeah, he's taking the liberty to really go for the flight, get the turn. This is a big ground. It's going to take some doing to really hit you out of the park. And with 3 wickets down, the batsmen probably have different things on their mind.
This is a really good shot. It's squeezed for 4 runs. It wasn't a very short delivery and there wasn't that much width on it, but the way this has been played and placed, it's a very good shot.
Yeah, it's one of those shots that the left-handers are looking forward to when they face the off spinner. Anything fractionally short outside the off stump, give them room and they'll find ways to get the ball through backward point. Lovely shot executed nicely by Agni Chopra.
Big shout. Umpire says not out. Stephen Taylor looks very perplexed. Interesting to get another look at this.
So, umpire Cameron Best. Umpire Cameron Best making the good call there. And in the end, ruled not out. 46 for 3.
End of the power play. 6 overs gone, 46 for 3. We're going to continue with spin. It's going to be Zishan Maksud. So Shadley Van Skalkwik's going to get the 1 over for now till he comes back for his second spell.
Yeah, I was talking about the other spin options over time with the Atlanta Fire. Sonny Patel used to be part of them and certainly haven't made this trip. He bowls a bulk of overs when he comes to the Atlanta Fire, so somebody will have to fill that void. Zishan Maksud, he bowled extremely well yesterday. I thought that had he given a longer run or maybe earlier run, Atlanta Fire would have made a run for a game they lost yesterday against PRG.
Turn from ball number 1 for Zishan Maksud. Shard Lumba just a bit watchful as he watches it through to the keeper.
Yeah, I want to think when Stephen Taylor won the toss, he took the fact into consideration. These are early morning games. What we have seen, Monali, that the pitch will probably hold up a little bit in the earlier part. Come here at 3 o'clock, and it becomes a road, a lot more fluent shots, and the ball comes on a lot more better.
Pressure, 3 dot balls. If we could get maybe one, maybe 2 more dot balls, you just sense it might be a bit of a release shot. Tossed up, 2 straight and helped away for 4 runs. And there's that pressure being released.
So the 50 comes up in over number 7. Good looking shot from Sharad Lumba. Had to get down a little bit low. and took his chance over the backward square area. 50 up for the Falcons, and they're 3 down, having been sent in here by Stephen Taylor and the Atlanta Fire.
Oh, is that your Tomcat? Back to business for Zishan Maksud with that delivery. Just be a bit annoyed with himself, I'm sure, with that loose delivery the ball before. Fired in and pushed down the ground. Should just be the single to wrap up the 7th over. It's 51 for 3.
Yeah,
Change in bowling. Usman Rafiq's going to come in, and they're going to continue with more spin. A little too short to start, and just be the single. Usman Rafiq also works with a lot of the juniors in the country, plays a big role as a coach.
Yes, certainly he's played at the international level briefly, and that's one of the things, Manala, we talked about this Atlanta Fire team. Everybody, there's not a player, in fact, there's only one player here, Nitish Sudini, if he's playing today, and I'm not too sure if he's represented a country before, but everybody on the Atlanta Fire team has played international cricket.
Well played. Just guided around the legs. Should pick up 2 runs here.
Yeah, the pressure.
Quite slow through the air, Usman Rafiq. Allows for the batter to find time to be able to get it as fine as he liked to get it there.
Yeah, we've seen a 28-run partnership between Agni Chopra and Sharad Lamba. And you get the feeling that this is consolidation time. They've been rocked back with 3 wickets, Manali. But sometimes this game doesn't play with early losses. While that could push you back a little bit. They've got a lot of deliveries remaining, 75, batting to come. Lamba is good. Agni Chopra, we talked about how good he has been and the repetition that he carries. You never know where you can end up with a very good score.
That's a biggie, and that's going to leak runs. It's going to go all the way for 6 runs. Just starting to find a bit more comfort, these 2 batters to the spinners out in the middle. And that's what time in the middle does. You've got to slow it down and create that base. Goes well inside the line of the ball to put this one away.
Yeah, a couple of 6s here for Sharad Lamba. And Manali, if you're looking to go deep into the onside, you probably love when an off-spinner is bowling to you. Usman Rafiq is that off-spinner.
No real timing on that one. And it's going to be a dot with 1 delivery to come. Last 2 overs, not as quiet as they would have liked, Atlanta Fire, but you do expect that in a T20. 8 overs gone, 62 for 3. So how are you doing this morning, Lenny? You get some breakfast in?
Yes, I. It's interesting. Every morning I go to breakfast. I always meet some people that I know, but I haven't really sat down with them. So today was my chance to meet one of the umpires from the other game, and he was telling me that I've gone to Michigan, and I said no, but it was my son who had done some remote commentary for games in Michigan. I said not me, my son does. Although I've done a couple of overs during that stint when I'm around the house.
I did a tournament for Michigan as well, remotely, last year. A couple of different tournaments, if I'm not wrong. Didn't realize there was so much cricket in Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan is packed with cricket, big tournaments around the holiday time.
Tucked around the legs for single as we go to pace for this one.
Yeah, Drysdale comes into the attack. I talked about Shadley, Drysdale, and Cameron. I haven't seen Cameron on the field, so good chance he's not playing today. I think Usman Rafiq has come in. And I talked about the selections in these teams. You probably want to put an extra spinner in. The early morning conditions allow probably better for slower bowling. And I think Stephen Taylor read it well. Not only selected the teams have to be selected even before the toss. So things have gone pretty well for the Atlanta Fire from a decision-making point of view. They selected a team with spinners, they won the toss, and they've elected to bowl. This is Drysdale.
Good running. Want to see a bit more aggression in between the wickets as well. Especially when you're 3 wickets down, can't always be reliant on taking the chances on the big boundaries.
Yeah, Sharad has gone aggressive. Sharad, a couple of sixes, couple of fours. You look at it, the card, he's up to 28 from 19 balls, so he certainly has done well, regardless that they have lost 3 wickets. And he's that type of player, very attacking.
Pulled away. And very well done in the deep. Paul Palmer. That was flying with some pace to the deep boundary.
Yeah, certainly quick outfield here and wait until the second game rolls around, Manali, 2:33 o'clock, and then you'll have to come across quite quickly. You'll have to cut better angles if you want to get to the ball traveling very fast. Good start here from Drysdale.
Seeing Monty Desai, the coach of Atlanta Fire, just in front of us here, walking up and down that hill. Likes to keep active.
Yeah.
Do a lot of his cardio actually when Nepal had played Canada a couple of years ago now. Constantly walking his lap and getting his steps in. I do enjoy seeing fit coaches. Bit of extra bounce on that. Just feel like you've got to live what you preach, you know, to your players.
Yes, Manali, and you. I've never seen a person. I've seen a lot of people, but you enjoy your morning walks 3-4 times around this track. And you're a fitness person, I know that. And we come here, you're looking for a partner to walk around. And so far, I've done a couple of laps today, but we'll see.
That's a big wide. He's going to have to re-bowl that. It's just nice to have some company when you're walking around the ground, you know? Conversation to go with some of that fitness. You're keeping your brain and your body fit.
We'll make up a schedule, get Brian Walters in, and maybe my next schedule, having done 2 laps today, might be Saturday morning. Tomorrow is Brian's turn.
Listen, the day's just started. You get a couple more during the mid-innings break. And I think we've got an hour between the 2 games. Cutaway. Short, wide. There is protection in the deep. And this is excellent work by the player in the deep to keep it to 1 run. That's going to round off the 9th over. It's 67 for 3. I just generally believe that if you can see your coaches being as active and as fit, it just helps motivate players, especially when you're working with players who are up and coming, not quite at the high performance level. They're not quite self-motivated yet to keep in shape.
Yeah, you're right on that. I know a lot of the coaches from time to time does a lot of indoor stuff. And it's only when it rolls around to the Canadian and American summer that you really see a lot of these coaches outside with the teams and trying to get the fitness in, just ready for summer.
Unfortunately, the weather is a big factor in that, especially if you want to try and get your workouts in outdoors in the fresh air. When you're stuck indoors for 6 months, and I know some people who do actually run in the winter, but I don't know how safe that is, given sometimes you can slip on the ice, and probably best to just be a bit safer. The other thing I find is the cold just locks your joints up when you're running outside. I don't know if other people experience that, but I find that my joints seize up in that cold. Zishan Maksoud calls for catch it, but that is clean as a whistle. It's going to run away all the way for 6. Low full toss, not the best of deliveries. Actually just inside the rope for 4.
Yeah, good strike here from Agni Chopra. That is straight down the ground. More on the long on side, and Zishan Maksoud comes back for his second spell. Well, he signaled 4. And so we'll probably, signal 4. And just coming back to the fitness thing, Manali, what I've noticed in New York, 2 things I always tell anyone that at the start of another season around April, May, is that the players have put on a couple of pounds, that's for sure, every player. And that comes back to the fact that they haven't been working out during the cold time, and so those pounds have been added on. And the grungs, the cricket grungs just gets worse every year, either more grass or under-prepared every year in New York.
That's a misfield, and it will be just the 1 run. Yeah, you see that, and that's a bit of an issue for me. And I know, I agree, we see players do come back a few pounds heavier. I don't mean with muscle, you know, we're talking a bit heavier with fat over the off season. And for me, from a coaching perspective, your off season is when you're supposed to be in the gym, when you're supposed to be working on your strengthening. Your strength training is so important. This is a massive one. A long way past that boundary. Zishan Maksoud is just starting to miss his mark in this over.
Yeah, a couple of big shots in this over. Agni Chopra continues to bat well, and they've posted over 50-run partnership now, Agni Chopra and Sharad Lamba. And that's a massive looking shot again from the little left-hander. Gone for 6.
It's gone some distance as well. They need to try and find a wicket here soon, Atlanta Fire, because there's a very dangerous partnership starting to form here.
Yeah, that partnership is 53, Manali. And I'll tell you what, it's come up in just 36 balls, so they're fighting back.
Full wide and squeezed away for a single.
Yeah, they've kept in tap with a solid 8 and over. We saw earlier on they were going just above 5, but a flurry of wickets saw the Falcons being pushed back, but we've seen a big partnership. Agni Chopra and Lamba has really gone well.
Should just be, oh dear, I was going to say should be a couple of runs, but that is a bit of a mess in the outfield, and it's going to run away for 4 more. A very expensive over comes to an end as we reach the halfway point of this game. 10 overs gone, it's 84 for 3. Going to take maybe a short drinks break. Nope, doesn't look like it.
Yeah, Mukamala running around along with Paul Palmer. Paul Palmer has been everywhere. And in the end, Mukamala probably not getting across in time. And so halfway stage here for the Falcons. We talked about Manali, the point situation. Falcons, they've lost their 2 games so far. And the Atlanta Fire perhaps better on the points table. They have won 1 and they have lost 1.
Another misfield. Stephen Taylor this time. And disappointed with the running here because they've just got the 1 run out of that.
Yeah, a bit of fumble. Actually, Agni Chopra wanted a second. Well, it was Sharad Lamba who says no. Might have been because of Stephen Taylor. We saw Stephen Taylor not too long ago. Manali took a brilliant catch off his own bowling, diving to his left. And you look at Drysdale, we talked about yesterday that all these players on this Atlanta Fire team have played international cricket. Drysdale has been part of the US setup in the last 2-3 years. Man who comes out of New York.
I was going to say there should be leg byes, but looks like there is some bat on that.
So the umpires are Cameron Best. Yeah, I was kind of waiting for a leg by signal. Umpires are Cameron Best. He's the man here now on square leg, of course, have Ravi. We'll take a look at this replay. Yeah, no bat. Yeah, no bat, but yeah, umpire Cameron Best, he's the best.
Tough job. Especially when you don't have the luxury of replays like we do.
And a lot of time also Manali, the batter, as in this case Lamba, he may have run down and say, umpire, I touched it. And poor umpire, if he's in two mind or he's relying on something else to make a call, the batsman has just told him I touched the stumps.
That should be wide. We'll wait for the signal. Oh, wow. Yeah, there it is. For a second, I thought maybe that wasn't going to be called wide. Good aggression, this, though. I'm just missing the radar a bit. Drysdale on this one. Now, you're based in New York, are you, Lenny? I was just in New Jersey last weekend.
Yeah, we're quite nearby, and I talked about the fact that Drysdale comes out of New York, and this man plays for a club that has won so many championships. It's called Westbury.
Pulled away. Really well done in the deep this time. As they'll stick to just the 2 runs off of that delivery.
Yeah, good looking shot again from Sharad Lamba. He continues to bat well, and we talked about that big partnership of 64 continues to climb. Fielder doing well this time. Is that Mukamala? But just coming back to Drysdale, he comes out of Westbury. This club has won so many championships, will beat everybody year in, year out. And he's come from a club that has had good history of fast bowling. Jeremy Lawson used to play there. Another Jamaican guy by the name of Meikle, very fast bowler back in his days.
That's plumb. Surely, surely that is a wicket. Goes for the full Yorker, straight as an arrow. And Shards completely played around this delivery. That's going to be the end of Shard Lumba and wicket number 4 for Atlanta Fire.
Yeah, good delivery here from Drysdale. And I think it's a good call from the umpire. And so the 4th wicket goes down, 90 for 4. Lumba gone. And that big partnership of 64 runs comes to an end courtesy of Drysdale. Good delivery.
Just a very poor shot, isn't it? You could see how full that delivery was. You could see how straight that delivery was. And trying to work a ball that full into the leg side, we've got to manage some bat on it. Poorly executed shot, but a very important partnership broken here for Atlanta Fire. Or by Atlanta Fire, I should say. Shreyans Kolipaka, the new batter out in the middle.
Yeah, Kolipaka comes out here with a couple of low scores. I wonder what his role in the team. Maybe a bowler, but we're down 4 wickets now, so we're getting down to the lower order. Agni Chopra has played a good hand. Drysdale with a final ball of his 2nd over.
Very good over. Comes to an end. 11 overs gone. It's 90 for 4. Going at just a little bit over 8 runs and over. What do you reckon is going to be par score on the surface?
Well, when Clarion Eagles played here a couple of days ago, Manali, they posted 223. We saw yesterday Smith Patel's team, PRG, Prime Raider Gladiators, they chased down 175. We saw 147 made by a team, didn't hold up. We see 131 made, didn't hold up. So you've got to push it to about 160, 170. Yesterday we saw the Atlanta Fire posting 162 and did not hold up. So let's go 170.
He's going to be bowling himself out, Stephen Taylor, as he comes in for his 4th and final over. Tossed up, full toss, and he'll get away with it with just a single.
Yeah, Taylor comes in here. He will be one of 3 spinners we've seen today. In fact, we've seen 4 spinners. We've seen Amila, we've seen Zishan Maksud, and we've seen Usman Rafiq.
Pulled away. And there is protection in the deep.
Yeah, it's a must-win situation here for the Falcons. They've lost their opening game. And this match is from Group A. Some top teams in this group, Bay Blazers and PRG. And probably it's around this day on Thursday and Friday, especially on this day, the teams will be looking to make a move on the points table. If Atlanta wins here, they'll go up to 4 points. They'll join two other teams up there, Bay Blazers and PRG. And if the Falcons win, well, they'll get up to where Atlanta Fire is, perhaps a little bit more open in Group A.
Turning out to be very tidy overs so far from Stephen Taylor. Not afraid to give it some air as this is pushed down the ground for another run.
Yeah, we see Pinar. He's another left-arm spinner giving the ball, but one of the things with Pinar, I haven't seen him done a lot of bowling recently.
An excellent final delivery to his spell. 12 overs gone, 94 for 4, and a great spell, 24 for 1 in his 4 overs, Stephen Taylor, leading from the front.
Yeah, he's bowled well along with a quartet of spinners. We saw very good bowling also from Amila Ponso, 2 for 13 in his spells, 1 from Usman Rafiq, Zishan Maksud. We're talking about all these international players. Zishan Maksud, of course, big associate player over time. Has represented Oman at the international level, Manali. A lot of associate players find themselves playing in the United States these days. Last 4 or 5 years, we've seen them all.
I actually saw Zishan Maksud in Canada a couple of years ago when Oman had come down for the Cricket World Cup League 2 games. So Oman, Canada, and I don't quite remember who the third country was on that tour.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of international players from the associate countries, UAE, Oman. What I haven't seen this year at the Houston Open are the Canadian players. Where are they?
Don't think we had any last year either, actually. I'm not really sure why there are no Canadian players here. I'm not really sure how it works when these squads are being put together.
Well, over time, I remember, might have been 4 or 5 years ago, or 3 or 4 years ago, Ryan Patan was the top batter in one of the Houston Open. Sadbin Zafar is a regular visitor here. And then we've seen a little bit of Aaron Johnson. Ravinder Paul Singh, he always comes. Not to be confused with the name Ravinder Singh Mehra from Baltimore Royals. Similar kind of structure of name and 2 different person.
You know, I am surprised that we don't have any Canadians playing this tournament. It's a shame because for Canada, who's still in very early spring, as we take a look at the swing and a miss, this is perfect conditions for them to come out of that winter and to come and get some game time, come and get some actual match practice. And I know we have players who are waiting for these opportunities, so I'm not really sure how the communication works here.
I know the Caribbean players, I've seen Heliga and the other West Indian players are in the Caribbean from time to time, playing around the March, April area, some tournaments there. So yes, I haven't seen the Canadians too much on this trip. I've seen they come from time to time, but not this time in 2026.
calling for 2, and they make it through pretty comfortably in the end.
Yeah, good running here from Chopra and Kolipaka. And they've got to take every opportunity to get these runs in. We're in the 13th over, so these deliveries, they come fast. These overs completes very quickly. And it's 97 on the board. I think the Fire's done well to restrict this team so far.
Big flashing shot with no control. That should have been taken, and that's gone down. That's the second catch that's been put down. And it's going to be a single to round off the 13th over. It's 98 for 4.
Yeah, in the air, in the region of Paul Palmer. Just put a couple of catches down, and so more reprieve here for this time Agni Chopra, and it's 98 for 4 at the end of 13.
Usman Rafiq comes back on. Just back of a length to start. It's tough, isn't it, sometimes on the field? The ball tends to follow you when you're having a bad day. Paul Palmer, unfortunately, has been the chosen one for today.
Yeah, well, one of the ways, Manali, you'll probably break that jinx of having the ball stop follow you. You've got to take one. Take one catch. And then the ball said, all right, I'll allow you to play your game today. Bye.
Bit too short. And that's going to run away. I believe that is a boundary. I'll just wait on confirmation. Yeah, there it is. 4 runs it is.
So the 100 comes up, and as we have seen from the 50, the 100 also comes up with a boundary. Look at this, pulled and pulled nicely from Shriyans. That has gone nicely, a little bit of valiant attempt from the fielder. And so the 100 comes up here, Manali. They've got what? They've got about 40 balls remaining, but still they've got to make the opportunities here to probably get up to 170.
He's got away with that one. Short had the width.
Yeah, what we will see later on, and I've done 6 games here already, Manali, and I tell you, when it comes around to 2 or 3 o'clock, it becomes a road out in the middle. Very good batting strip.
It's really interesting because you would assume that the cracks are going to open up further as you progress through the day. And what you would typically expect is for the wicket to turn more as the day progresses.
Yeah,
that comes in sharply.
I thought Stephen Taylor really called it correctly for the Atlanta Fire. Not only he selected a team playing an extra spinner in Usman Rafiq in place of Camrell, the seamer, but he also won the toss and electing to bowl. I want to think that when the Fire bats, of course the likes of Stephen Taylor, such a fluent player, he'll be looking to bat on a hard track. Saimu Kamala, Sagar Patel, Pinar, they'll be looking to bat on something that is a little tarmac-like.
Faintest of edges, and that's a really well-taken catch behind the stumps. That's going to be wicket number 5, and it is a spinner who picks up a wicket yet again. Usman Rafiq gets a breakthrough.
Yeah, his first wicket, and the regulation catch for Malik, the keeper. And look at that, trying to go through the offside. Nick into the glove of a waiting Malik. The 5th wicket goes on, 1 3 for 5.
Flirting with that wide delivery, Usman Rafiq. And you could see he was uncomfortable with that length and line. And eventually, he does end up nicking it. I'm wondering if we could try and get a replay of those last 4 deliveries.
And how many times we've seen off spinner Manali, you being one, getting those faint nick when batsmen are looking to punch through the offside. Looks like Yasser Mohammed has come to the middle. Well, there's a quick break in the action. A lot of time, Manali, when batsmen are batting off spinners, you kind of, how many times batsmen are playing for the turn, and when the balls runs through straight, you get an edge. Drysdale.
That's where it gets tricky, doesn't it? Because you've seen turn on the surface, you're expecting for it to turn. So you're going to play for the turn, and then the odd one just goes straight on.
So Yasser Mohammed comes to the middle. Young player who's been part of the U.S. international setup as a leg spinner, and leg spinner who can bat. Playing a miss, ball goes through to the keeper. So a couple of good balls there from Drysdale.
I know I've been asking for the points table. I believe we should be able to get it up if this over is a little quiet, just to see where the standings are with all the teams. Just rolling his fingers down the seam of that ball.
Yeah, 3 good balls in this over from Drysdale. We've seen a situation of playing misses here from the new man in. Here you go, Manali. So game in Group A, we talked about the PRG Prime Rated Gladiators, top of the table along with Bay Blazers, 4 points. But look at where Atlanta Fire is, and what will that mean? If they get a win here today, they'll tie up with 2 other teams.
This is turning out to be a very good over from Drysdale. He's consistently bowling at that angle, taking it away from the left-hander. Now the net run rate, I said this yesterday at the other ground, the net run rate is going to be key because you're going to have a lot of teams with similar points given the structure of this tournament. They need a big win here, don't they, Atlanta Fire?
Yeah, big win will push them up with 2 other teams at the top. Don't think they'll catch the Gladiators.
Make that the 5th delivery now. And the last 4 have continued on with that angle across the left-hander. The length is key here.
Yeah, Yasser Mohammed has come out here. And one of the things you'll notice with this Columbus Falcons batting order, I'm waiting for maybe one or two players to come up, but they're full of left-handers. Many of the players on this team are lefty. And it's no wonder if Stephen Taylor was thinking, well, we've got Usman Rafiq.
That's a wide, and he'll have to re-bowl that. I'm surprised he went with a bouncer, considering the last 4 deliveries at that angle were going as well as he has had them go for him. Just expecting one to maybe nip back in.
Yeah, Yasser Mohammed comes out here, in which they're still under 8 runs and over. We're coming down to the end. Seen a good knock from Agni Chopra earlier on. Visharad Lamba posted 64.
In the gap, and that pressure has been released. That extra delivery from the wide is going to run away for 4 runs, and Yasser Mohammed's going to get off the mark with that boundary as well.
Yeah, this is one of the things that will help your strike rate. This is a deception of strike rates, in that you could probably face 3 or 4 dot balls, and then you get a boundary, and all of a sudden you're striking high. 109 for 5.
I just don't know why pace bowlers do this. You have figured out a weakness in the length and the angle, and then all of a sudden you come out and you bring the bouncer when there really wasn't a need for one, and then your last delivery is over pitched and wide. Easy pickings for a batter to throw their arms at that and pick up a boundary.
Yeah, you're right on that. And if we had the benefit of watching the ball trackers of the over, you'll see probably Drysdale kept it at one place all the time. And just fraction outside the off stump, you know Yasser was gonna look for a release shot. And in the end, he picked up a boundary. 109 for 5, 15 gone. So Usman Rafi continues. Rotation of strike. Yasser Mohammed comes back into strike. We'll have to wait and see how Yasser handles the off spinning of Usman Rafiq. Agni Chopra has been there for some time. We come down to the latter stages. One slip in place.
That's going to run away for 4 runs. Usman Rafiq. Thinking, I've got a slip in place. It's not the worst of deliveries, and the reverse is played very well there. Just gets it wide of the slip as well.
Yeah, we saw yesterday Unmuk Chan got a 93, and he played several reverse shots, and they were all very good, I got to tell you that. And it was such a treat to watch that I made a point somewhere along the line that probably some of these batters are better off playing those unconventional shots than what they do conventionally. Good execution from Yasser Mohammed. And Usman Rafiq will continue. He's gone for 5 and a couple of balls here.
Nothing unconventional about that one, and he has taken a very comfortable catch for 6.
Yep, good catch from Shadley. The only thing, the batsman goes nowhere. The scoring goes up by 6. And I'm wondering what's the benefit of even taking a catch outside of the ropes. But a lovely shot here from Yasser Mohammed. And Manali, what I've seen in this tournament and even at the IPL level, batsmen are waiting now. Lot more in their crease and playing so late. Lovely shot again from Yasser Mohammed. It will run away. And we'll wait for the signal here from umpire Ravi, gone for 4 off the bat.
I wasn't sure where Stephen Taylor was going for a while he was chasing that, because it is downhill from there. Yeah, playing late, watching it for as long as they can. That's a chase in vain.
Yeah, batters are looking to play late. They want to be able to get fully under the ball. Oh, that's a lovely punch into the offside. Fielder comes in, takes the catch. And what was looking at as a very good knock here from Yasser Mohammed comes to an end. Punching into the offside at point. Fielder comes in and takes a very good running catch. And that's the end of Yasser Mohammed, 124 for 6.
And yet another breakthrough, and comes at a good time as well for Atlanta Fire. Now we've seen 2 catches go down, but overall the catching has been good from Atlanta Fire. What was looking like a very expensive over at one point from Usman Rafiq has resulted in a wicket. 124 for 6 after 15.5.
So we're taking a look at the wickets to fall so far. Couple of wickets there, and look, a diving catch from Stephen Taylor, wicket number 3. Drysdale, number 4, Sharad Lumba looking to go through the onside. And this Shreyans Kali Parker caught behind of the bowling of Usman Rafiq, and this one just happened a few moments ago. Yasser Mohammed caught in the deep. 16 gone, 124 for 6. So 124 for 6. Come down to the last 4 overs. Shadley will continue. 2 overs in the middle, none for 13. He's really bowled well again. And we've seen a good knock so far from Agni Chopra. Ball lofted into the onside and brings the new man in, Akshay Sripati. We come down to the last stage here of the Falcons. We talked about Falcons haven't won a game yet, so they will probably need to put points on the table. If they do, they'll get to the same position as the Atlanta Fire. And if the Atlanta Fire wins, well, they'll head upwards, and they'll join PRG and Bay Blazers at the top with 4 points. So ball in the air for some time from Akshay Sripati. What Atlanta Fire is doing here is that they're restricting the boundary. Run rate just about 7.7. There has never been a point in which it ran away towards, let's say, 9. So they have controlled the run rate, and they've picked up 6.
Leg side, And this is a very, very good shot. Stays low, gets inside the line of that delivery, and the balance is impeccable as he puts this away.
Yeah, this is a good strike from Agni Chopra. And Manali, with just about 3 overs remaining after this one, we get the feeling that they've got to be targeting 8, 9, and 10 runs on over towards the end.
Oh, that's going to be 4 more. Said that the ball tends to follow you in the field when you're having a bad day. And this is going to run away for 4. Paul Palmer in the deep. Not the best of deliveries from Shadley Van Skalkwyk.
So 12 runs in this over. This is a good one here for the Falcons. Columbus Falcons. And we've seen a good knock so far from Agni Chopra. We've seen 13 half century in the tournament. And he's approaching another one, so we'll have to wait and see if he can cross the line. Shadley has gone for 13 in this over, but a very good one here for the Columbus Falcons.
Lofted, looking to go down the ground, doesn't quite have the distance. And what an effort this is in the deep. It won't be a wicket, but he's certainly saved a maximum here.
Yeah, great work from the fielder out there. We'll have to pick him up. Might have been Sagar Patel, not too sure. We'll have to zoom in on that, but a lovely execution of a shot here from Akshay Sripati. Look at that, saved 4 runs because they ran 2. And in the end, threw it back in and not ruled a boundary. And it's 139 for 617 gone. So 139 for 6. Aponso will finish up here. Bowled well, 2 for 13. In fact, Aponso has 2 more overs. In fact, he has 2 more overs. And you get the feeling he's bowled well. Stephen Taylor's opted to go with him towards the very death. Agni Chopra, can he get to a half century, Manali? We have seen 13 coming into this match. We are not following the other game. But so far, ball going down the leg side here. Signal a wide from umpire Ravi. 140 for 6.
That one's going to be taken. And it is Paul Palmer who finally gets his luck to turn around in the field. Well judged, well taken. Emil Alfonso back into the attack and is going to pick up his wicket number 3.
Yeah, 3 for 32 from Emil Alfonso, but more importantly for Paul Palmer. We talked about the fact is if you can get a catch in here, then the ball will probably behave itself. So the big wicket of Agni Chopra falls for 47. It's 140 for 7. So Kenjige comes to the middle. Amila Aponso has picked up another one here. And the action continues. 141 for 7. So 3 for 15 so far from Amila. Will come into bowl to Akshay. We saw in the previous over a lovely striker of the ball. But still good tidy stuff here from Amila.
Tidy indeed. 15 for 3 in his 2.3 overs. Doesn't get much better than that for a spell. Quicker this time through the air.
And Manali, the 6 games that I've done here, and I told you that 161 didn't hold up, 147 didn't hold up, 173 didn't hold up. And so chasing team, I think probably Stephen Taylor had a look at the Crick Center scores and realized that the team chasing, if you're chasing these scores, you're probably better off.
He seems to be the lone appealer on that one, as the umpire says, not out, and that's the end of your over. 18 overs gone, 142 for 7.
Rishi, how are you? You're right, influencer.
Shadley Van Skalkwyk back into the attack. No real control on this, should be taken. And is taken by Zishad Maksud, the softest of dismissals. And Columbus Falcons, they'll be very disappointed with this first innings because they've fallen in consistent intervals.
Yeah, looking to go nowhere. And in the end, straight into the hands of Zishan Maksud. Another wicket falls, and they've still got deliveries remaining. So they've got to make use of this. It looks like Isan Adil is walking out. And so Manali, a big performance here from the Atlanta Fire. And bearing in mind, they're the defending champions from last year, minor league winner this year. 2025 has really been a good year for the Fire. So they'll be hoping that they could climb back into the top of the rankings. And I want to think, while I haven't seen the playing conditions of how the teams will qualify, I want to think 2 teams from the Group A will match talent and certainly skill with the 2 top teams from Group B. Isan Adil comes to the middle.
His final over, Shadley Van Skalkwyk, and he's picked up his first wicket as we see Ehsan Adil walk out to the middle. And off the mark with a single.
Yeah, they've lost a lot of wickets at the top of the order, the Columbus Falcons. And we talked about at the time around the 15 over mark, 15, 16 over mark, in which they should be progressing, should be hitting the ball towards the fences. They've repeated what started at the top of the order, and they're beginning to lose a lot of wickets here. They lost their 7 wicket at 140, their 8 wicket at 142, their 6 wicket at 124. So within a 16-run period, they've lost 3 wickets. Very good for the Atlanta Fire. They have relied on their spinners on one end, and the likes of Shadley and Drysdale to give them some good seam options. And here they are, restricting the Columbus Falcons so far to 144 for 8 with 9 balls remaining.
Just falls short of the fielder in the deep. Was in the air for quite some time. When you consistently lose wickets like this, you don't leave much in the tank for the last few overs where you're supposed to have the ability to attack the bowling.
Yeah, we saw a big partnership between Sharad Lamba, Agni Chopra. Agni Chopra stayed around long enough. A little bit of a flurry with him and Yasir Mohammed.
They won't mind these singles, Atlanta Fire.
Yeah, you're right on that. You get the feeling that the Atlanta Fire will take what's on offer here. Still 146. And after this over, we'll come down to the last 6 balls. But get the feeling that the Atlanta Fire will be very happy with a chase in the vicinity of maybe 160. And what we have seen on this ground, Manali, those scores really rarely holds up.
Slap down the ground, straight as you like, and this is going to run away for a boundary. Just dents what has been a very good over. Good spell as well. 4 overs gone, 36 for 1 for Shadley in his spell.
Yeah, with that 4 brings up the 150. Big psychological score. And Isa and Adil, sometimes these fast bowler Manali, they come to the park and not too sure if they should walk with their bat because a lot of time they don't bat. But you've got to put those bats in the kit. You never know. And here he is. A lovely shot straight out the ground for a man that is batting so late. And there's the worm for you. Not necessarily a big spike. The trajectory very, very still. And you look at some of the tall buildings there, well, a couple of Manhattans, and then we've got some buildings that you probably see in Texas. Not too tall, but a couple of city buildings along the way. And around the 16 and 17 door, we've seen a twin tower. 19 gone, 150 on the board. And Manali, here's a quick question for you. I know you've done a lot of games, in fact, all the games so far from PV5. How you would assess how Amila and Usman Rafiq and Stephen Taylor would have done on PV5?
I don't think there was nearly as much turn and bounce on the wicket there, at least not for the first 2 days that we've done over there. But you've also got to give credit to those bowlers because there is a lot of experience, and that consistency element is going to come out regardless of which surface you're bowling on. If you've got the ability to be consistent in your variations, landed in the right areas, there would still have been trouble on that ground as well, but not as much turn and bounce.
Having said that, you thought Stephen Taylor was very good at the toss. Deciding to bowl, that's one, and then, of course, playing that extra spinner. So a bit of hold up as I think we've got a replacement ball here, Manali, as umpire Cameron Best had made his way to the umpire's corner and retrieve a ball. So Amila will finish up here. 150 on the board. 3 for 16 from him. And along with Usman Rafiq, 2 for 31. Stephen Taylor, 1 for 24. They've bowled well.
Just falls short of the fielder. Would have had his heart in his mouth. We see the reverse being executed so well sometimes. But with two fielders right there, this has been picked up beautifully. It's going to fly away for 6 runs. Fires this one in. Emilio Ponzo doesn't quite get the right length on this.
Yeah, a couple of big shots here from Isa Nadil. We saw in the previous over, straight down the ground for 4. But look at this one. Big as any as we have seen in this game.
Just nothing delivery though, isn't that? In the slot, easy pickings. Better length this time. Fielder is on the boundary. Eight runs off the over so far. 3 deliveries to go in the innings. Just manages to get this over the bowler's head. That's twice now that that length has been a bit troublesome for both of the batters.
I want to expect something big here in 2 balls remaining here from Isan Adil. He has struck 2 mighty blows already.
Does it have the legs? No, it doesn't. That's excellent work in the deep. Obis Pinar in the deep makes it look very easy, as that brings on the 9th wicket and Emilio Ponzo's 4th wicket.
Yeah, I was backing Isan Adil to clear the ropes. But look at this. Pinar is relatively tall. Maybe Asai Mukamala, maybe probably would have gone over, but look at this. And I'll tell you a story about Pinar. I remember a couple years ago, this is last year's 2025, 2024, around 2023, 2024, in the final, Najav Shah got a hat-trick, and all 3 catches were taken in similar position by none other than Obus Pinar. The scorecard read 3 times, caught Pinar, caught Pinar, caught Pinar.
Well bowled for the final delivery. Should be leg byes. And that's going to wrap up the first innings. 160 for 9 in their 20 overs. The Columbus Falcons. That means Atlanta Fire will need 161 to win this contest. Of course, we mentioned that net run rate. That's going to play a big role. Taking a quick look at this batting card. Just didn't start well enough today for the Columbus Falcons. Lost early wickets. And a few good partnerships there, especially the one between Shard Lumba and Adni Chopra, 37 off 25 and 47 off 36, helping the Falcons get into respectable territory with 160 runs for 9.
Yeah, the bowling, we'll take a look at the bowling card. Amila picked up 4 for 25, started from the first over, put a lot of pressure on the Falcons. And then we saw Usman Rafiq brought into the side in the place of Camel, 2 for 31 for him. Even Stephen Taylor was relatively good at the top of the order, a lot of spin we saw. And in the end, 160 posted by the Falcons. So folks, we'll take a short break. Be back in 15 minutes time with the Atlanta Fire. They'll need 160 to win. So stick around. And if you're a Falcons fan, if you're an Atlanta Fire fan, well, it's a good opportunity for you to see what happens next. See you soon.
Atlanta Fire, star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
Man, and deep in that one is smack.
Oh, this one is lobbed into the onside, a slow, short ball.
There's only one minor league champion.
Atlanta Fire, star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
Man, and deep in that one is smack.
Oh, this one is lobbed into the onside, a slow, short ball.
Welcome back to the action. We're all set for the chase. And the Atlanta Fire have been set a target of 161 in their 20 overs. Stephen Taylor out in the middle along with Saiteja Mukamala. Shard Lumba is going to start things off with the ball. A lot to play for here, especially for Atlanta Fire. And that's going to be the first runs on the board. Great way to start for Stephen Taylor. This has been put away for a boundary.
Yeah, Mukamala getting one off the back foot and pulls it through the onside. So very good start here for the Atlanta Fire. First ball, gone for 4.
I don't know if you saw what happened there, Lenny. I'm more concerned. The boundary was great. I don't know if we'll see if we can get a replay of where the ball landed. Because there's a box that fell where the ball landed, and that box was a lunch. Well fielded. Keep it to a single. I think we need some lunch. And have a look at that, okay? Right about there. That's our lunch.
Yeah, we caught it on tape. Caught it on tape, so just in case, maybe that was heading to our booth. So we might be short today, Monali.
I'll take the first one. The reason I was saying a lot to play for here for Atlanta Fire is, yes, they've picked up a win, but when we'll try and get you another look at that points table again, there are multiple teams that are going to end up tied at the number of points. And to get into the semifinals, it might come down to that net run rate. And for that net run rate, as we take a look, here's a good look at that points table. Currently sitting with 2 points, Atlanta Fire. There are 2 other sides that have picked up 4 points already. Straight into the hands, and this is a very poor shot. had all the time in the world to put this away anywhere he would have liked, Stephen Taylor. Instead, he finds the fielder at short mid-wicket. That's going to be wicket number 1. Great start for the Columbus Falcons.
Yes, Stephen Taylor looking to go big into the onside, and probably not the shot he wanted to play, but in the end goes straight to the man, plays that short mid-wicket, maybe short mid-on, and Taylor goes first ball, 5 for 1.
Both sides now losing an early wicket. And we were just talking about that required net run rate. They need to have a good net run rate. For that, you need your wickets in hand. You need to chase this down in quick fashion. And unfortunately, when you lost your skipper in the first over, that's going to take a bit of a dent.
So Malik comes to the middle, Manali, and we talked about those score around 160, 150 has been chased down. But there will come a time in which teams will come out here and defend those same totals that we are talking about. And we saw a very good start from Mukamala. First ball was through the onside, went away for 4, but a couple balls later, Stephen Taylor back in the shade.
End of the first over, it's 5 for 1. Asanadil comes in for the second over. Interesting approach in the second innings from the bowling front. We saw a lot of spin early on in that first innings. Not quite the approach that the Columbus Falcons are taking.
Yeah, I agree. Probably had the choice whether to start with Ken Jige or Sharad Lumba. And then perhaps the other spinning option you're talking about is Yasir Mohammed. But when you've got Isan Adil, one of the quickest in this country, Manali, you want to give him that new pill, that new cherry, that new ball, call it whatever you want. And you want him to extract as much pace as possible that he can with a brand new cricket ball.
Back of a length, well fielded as they scamper across for single. Sharad Lumba there.
No single. So Mukamala still on strike.
Up and over and just inside the rope. It's going to go for 4 runs. He's just lost his footing here as well, Esanadil.
Yeah, a couple of 4s for Mukamala. We saw the first ball of the bowling of Sharad Lumba. And that's a lovely up and over shot. And so he picks up a couple of boundaries. And while they've lost the wicket of Stephen Taylor, expect the likes of Mukamala, such a talented player. Look at that, outside off, hanging outside off. And in the end, well executed shot from Mukamala. 9 for 1.
Thank you. Down the ground, calls for catch it. It is high in the air with a fielder getting under it, and he has made an absolute meal of this. Should have been taken. And that's a massive wicket of Saiteja Mukamala.
Yeah, Mukamala taking on Isan Adil. Too much on him. But look at this. Fielder came around. The ball was high in the air, and in the end, puts it down. And so a badly missed opportunity there for their second wicket from the fielder. And Mukamala escapes, so we'll have to make a note on that. Mukamala escapes on 9. And we are in the second over, 10 for 1 so far. They have lost the wicket of Stephen Taylor, their captain. And Isan Adil, still a very good over from him. We've seen Malik come out here at number 3. Saw yesterday Sagar Patel open, and then Mukamala came at number 3. So a little bit of reshuffling here. Team still finding their right combination. This is game number 3 for the Atlanta Fire. And they play this one here today. And they've got the Bay Blazers tomorrow. That should be a cracker of a game. Especially if Atlanta Fire gets a couple of points here, and will head up to the big bracket with PRG and Bay Blazers. Here is Isan Adil. Cut away into the offside. Lovely shot. Will fetch him a single and brings the left-hander back on strike. Malik, 12 for 1.
Have to see how expensive that drop catch ends up being. Saiteja Mukamala, very experienced youngster, but very talented. He's an attacking batter.
So ball is into the offside. 2 gone, 13 for 1.
Are you not hungry? You want breakfast?
Typical.
Really? So when do you dinner?
Oh, I do.
So Sharad will continue. Got a wicket of Stephen Taylor in his first over. And we have seen an over from Isan Adil. Very eventful. We saw a drop catch off the bat of Mukamala, so we'll make a note of that. He was on 9. Oh, lovely strike. That's through the offside and gone for 4. Lovely strike from Ahad Malik. And in fact, gone for 6. So a better strike in terms of productivity. And that has gone for a lovely 6. Flat 6. I was watching the trajectory of the ball and was predicting that he would have landed at some point, but it's gone for 6.
Kept that shot so simple as well. See if we can try and get one more replay on that. Gave himself some room. Just stayed so still. Goes similar shot again, giving himself some room. And make that a boundary this time. Just lands inside that rope.
Yeah, a couple of big shots there from Malik. And I talked about a promotion for him. We saw yesterday Sagar, Taylor, and Mukamala 1, 2, 3. And Malik batted in the middle. In fact, Malik batted at 6 yesterday. Well, he comes in at 3 today at the fall of Taylor. No Sagar Patel so far. And a bit of recovery here from Malik and Mukamala. And I mentioned keeping a tab on where Mukamala was dropped because we saw a costly drop yesterday. Smith Patel was dropped on 7. He was dropped on 21. Monali went on to score 85 match-winning runs for the PRG. So sometimes these drop catches, they hurt you very bad. They cost you the game. As in the case yesterday, it cost them the game. Smith Patel, you don't drop him. It's the ball defended into the offside. We've seen a good knock so far from Malik, and I've seen him play several times. He's always the top order batsman. In fact, many games I've seen him open batting. And look, he's driving and driving well. Straight to the man. Looks like Kanjige, one of the best in the business. And a good comeback here from Sharad Lumba. So 3 gone, 25 for 1. So Isan Adil will continue. First over went pretty well. Second over went for 12. But it was in that over we saw catch put down. So he gets another blow. He gets another shot at Sai Mukamala. And we talked about how Sai Mukamala has really planted himself into the US setup, along with Andres House, Shayan Jahangir, Monang Patel, and Sai Mukamala. They have now formed that top order for the United States, whether it's T20, whether it's 50 over League 2 games, ODI games. That is why Monali, you look at the likes of Stephen Taylor, who has found himself out of favor with the selectors, and he himself will have to really get some big score and tell the selectors he's still making runs. So a bit of hold up here, as I'm wondering what's the situation here. I did see Malik talking to the umpire about something, and then Isan Adil was interrupted by what appears to be the captain, Sharad Lumba, who's not too pleased. And for one umpire to leave his area at square leg and go all the way over there, I'm wondering what demanded that. We had an umpires conference last couple of weeks, Manali, with Peter Nero, who's been the man in charge of the Americas region in terms of training and assessing the umpires and uplifting the standards of umpires in the United States. And that's one of the things he showed us, that it's not a good protocol for one umpire to go all the way over that side and to try and rectify a situation most times. And he also talked about umpire remaining in their territory. You meet halfway. You converse halfway. You try not to encroach on things like that. Well, that's for a different day. 26 for 1. Isan Adil gets a shot here at Ahad Malik, who has had to come out pretty quickly at the fall of Stephen Taylor's wickets. And so here we are, folks. Big day here for both teams. Atlanta Fire chasing their second victory, and it will be a good one. Should they pick up 2 more points, they'll join some big teams at the top, Bay Blazers and PRG. And if Falcons wins this game today, if they defend 160, then for the first time in this tournament, they'll put points on the table and they'll catch up, so to speak, with the Atlanta Fire. So much to play for. And then we've got another big games coming up. Another big game coming up. Baltimore Royals will take on, I think they're taking on Bay Blazers. That's going to be a cracker of a game. Can't wait to see that. Punched into the offside, can't score. Very good over so far from Isan Adil. Kept it tidy. He's one of the premier fast bowler around. Last year saw him in the major league setup, and I might need correction on that. I don't think he was picked this year, and I wonder why. I wonder why no Isan Adil in none of the 6 teams. But like anything else, you've got to continue to impress the selectors and those watching. In 2026, there's so much scouting going around. Well, pulled away. Lovely shot from Mukamala. He finds the backward square area and got away for a much needed boundary in this over. Lovely shot from Mukamala. And he goes up now to what, 16? It's 31 for 1. Ball angling down the leg side from Isan Adil. And helped along the way. Good pace. Lovely shot from Mukamala. One of the things about players these days, a lot of tournaments are being web streamed. A lot of coverage through scoring platforms like Crick Clubs, Crick Center in this tournament. Crick HQ. Crick Heroes is another one making its way in the United States.
Crick Clubs.
Yeah, Crick Clubs has flooded the US market. And when Monali comes back, we'll talk about what has been a popular app scoring platform in Canada. I know Crick Clubs is also there.
Massive.
But this tournament has gone with Crick Center this year. And folks, while I'm on the Crick Center issue, you can download the app and follow all the numbers, all the stats. Follow your team. And although we might not be giving you all those stats from time to time because we're watching ball by ball, we're busy following the ball wherever the ball goes, you'll be able to follow the numbers. Crick Center. Look at this one. High in the air, well away from any of the fielder. Oh, lucky. And I thought that the fielders may have lost the ball for a moment, not too sure where it was or where it's going. In the end, a couple of runs there for Mukamala. 4 gone is 33 for 1. So it looks like Njige has been given the ball, so he comes in here with the team going at 8.2. And they require 8 runs and over. We've seen a good fight back here from Malik and Mukamala. Stephen Taylor left the middle when the score was 5, so do the math here, and it's a 28-run partnership. Good recovery. And Malik certainly, don't be fooled that he batted 5 or 6 yesterday, that he's not a top order player. In fact, when I saw him coming at 5 and 6, and I said, well, he's batting too late. And so here is Ken Jige, left arm spin. Oh, that's a good start. Good delivery here from Ken Jige. And Malik picks up a single, hands a strike over to Mukamala. Kamala, New Jersey native. For the first time, I'm seeing him in red and black, the Atlanta color. He's always played for other teams, so first time in the kit of the Atlanta Fire contingent. Hassan, Tariq, and folks, I hope you guys are doing well if you're listening to the feed. Good afternoon to Mr. Hassan, one of the prime architect of the Atlanta Fire. Did see some of the other members of the squad. Halim Bai, I saw here. Babu was also here. Couple of good balls here from Ken Jige. And the world certainly knows Ken Jige. America knows him pretty well. There was a time in which Ken Jige used to play in New York, played for a team called the Atlantis. Atlantis Cricket Club. John Aaron?
Yep, at a women's tournament.
Yeah, I know they used to go up to Atlanta. Was that in Atlanta? They used
So.
Yeah, they do a Memorial Day weekend up in there. I forgot the lady's name. It begins with P. I forgot. Petal Summers. Lovely strike from Ahad Malik. Gone for a maximum. And I talked about he's a top order batsman. Don't be fooled where he batted yesterday. And that's gone massively over long off. Gone for 6. Yeah, lovely strike from Malik. And we talked about a fight back here, 36, the partnership between Mukamala and Malik. And it's Malik who has outscored Mukamala for the time being. Good. Into the onside. This was not gone too well for Ken Jige. Started pretty well the first half of the over, just conceded a couple of runs, but we've seen a massive shot from Ahad Malik. But gone over the ropes. Mukamala comes back into strike. Good power play session for them. We saw during the course of the Falcons innings, at the end of 6, they were batting a 46 for 3. Big difference here, 42 for 1 here. Ball chopped into the offside. Sharad Lamba is in attendance. And so 5 gone. It's 42 for the loss of Stephen Taylor. So Agni Chopra has been given the ball. And as we saw from the Atlanta Fire, they're taking pages out of the Atlanta Fire books. And they've gone, well, I see Agni Chopra. Earlier on was marking his run-up as if he wants to bowl spin, but I don't think it's Agni Chopra now. In fact, Kamal has been given the ball. Maybe Agni Chopra is anticipating that he'll bowl. So the ball has been thrown to Kamal. Looks to be a seamer. He comes in here, final over in the power play. Yeah, there used to be a bowler called Mohammed Kamal. Not too sure if it's the Mohammed Kamal, but let's see. We'll come into bowl to Malik. Slower ball. Good slower change up. We saw yesterday Yusuf Zazai from the Bay Blazers really bowled the slower ball to great effect. In fact, there was one particular over I saw yesterday from Yusuf Zazai. Every single ball was a pace-off ball. And I wonder, when are you going to start bowling a little quick? And he was bowling to Unmuk Chand, and he really had Unmuk Chand checked. Pulled away, man in the circle, Yasser Mohammed. We've seen a couple of good balls here from Mohammed Kamal. The action continues. We've seen a good fight back here from the Atlanta Fire. And folks, we're talking about the Atlanta Fire with looking for more points on the table. They've won one, they've lost one. They're on 2 points. The Falcons yet to put points on the table. It's going to be interesting if the Falcons can put 2. We have a 3-way tie for 3 teams hanging on 2 points. All the way. That's a lovely shot from Malik. Gone away for 4.
2-dot deliveries and then just leaking away a boundary here. Just not the right length. It's a quick outfield here compared to the ground that I was at for the last 2 days. A lot more waterlogged on the ground behind us.
Yeah, power play score. We saw for the Falcons were 46 for 3. Manali, they're batting at 46 for 1. With still 3 balls remaining in their session.
Rushed onto the bat, and it'll be just the single.
So Mukamala comes into strike, and Manali, we were talking about Hassan Tariq of Tariq Real Estate, and a man who's not only put so much resources into this Atlanta Fire team, but follows them every single ball wherever he is. I just got a text from him, and he reminds me that Mukamala, back in the days when he was 17 years old, might have been a couple of years ago, had played in a tournament for the Atlanta Fire. So I'll have to pull that back. Second time in the Atlanta Fire kit.
It's always good to hear from those who are actually watching and listening to us.
I like that.
It just validates us talking here, doesn't it?
I like that. And Hassan Tariq has followed the tournament all over the place. It's not the only time. A lot of time we will go to the tournament and he's not around. He'll arrive later. I'm pretty sure he's on his way here. But he'll follow the game. And if we're struggling to get a little bit of clearance on something has to do with Atlanta Fire, in 10 minutes or so, he will send a text to clarify or clear that up. Thank you, Mr. Tariq.
Pulled away, 2 straight, and he's going to get away with this delivery. Just a single to end the over. 6 overs gone. It's 49 for 1. End of the power play. 49 runs coming off of it at the loss of 1 wicket. Currently, just a little over that required run rate. Atlanta Fire. Ken Jige is going to come into the attack for his 2nd over. Low full toss, worked into the leg side. This is good running as they come back for 2.
Yeah, that's the other good thing about Malik. He's a very fleet-footed runner in those 22 yards there. And he's got a good partner in Mukamala. You get the feeling at 21 or 22 years old, Monali should be at your peak. It's always a busy man, Mukamala. Good start to the 7th.
Fleet-footed. I like that saying. It's so important to be fleet-footed when you're playing a sport.
You've got to be fit, especially in T20 cricket, and then especially now outside of the power play. Look at the vast areas of gap on this cricket field. Soft hands, you play it within the 30 yards circle, you come back for 2. I thought that Malik did exactly that.
They've done well here to get the ball in the gaps. Good rotation of strike.
And what batters have done in 2026, Manali, they've done well striking a big ball. They've done well hitting the ball out of the park and stuff like that. What they haven't done well is soft hands, run for 2 around the 30-yard area, especially when the fielders are deep.
Worked into the leg side. Again, big gaps here now that the power play is over. Change in strategy from attacking the bowling, going up and over the infield, to then attacking the gaps. I don't know what the calculations are to get a big jump on the net run rate. I don't know what your strength is when it comes to net run rate calculations.
I'm terrible. I was gonna give you that job to figure out.
That's gonna go for 4. It's beaten the infield and it's gonna get just past the fielder in the deep as well. Well placed, well timed for 4.
Yeah, lovely shot again from Mukamala. And when you look at left arm spin, Monali, that's their bad ball. The ball is too short, turning away, allowing the batters to predict. We've seen this pitch played wonderfully. I love this pitch. I've got to be biased to this pitch. I've seen so many games here. I've done so many games here, Manali. I love Pv6 rather than Pv5. 7 overs gone, 58 for 1.
Yeah, I can't say I would be the right person to do net run rate calculations either. Is Tariq good at that? He's listening.
I think we'll have to wait until those numbers are tabulated. Crick Center will do it perfectly for us. Just give it time. Let's complete this game and see where we stand. You're looking for points first. And just in case, I always think that net run rate is a fallback when you haven't done really good on points to really climb to the very top. As we have seen 2 teams done so far. We've seen very good showing from the Bay Blazers and PRG. PRG, I've seen them play so impressively well. Smith Patel and company, that's a strong team.
Just taking a quick look at that points table. We'll try and get it up one more time when we've got a bit more break and play. Taking pace off of that and just keeps a little low because of that. Have a look at this points table. Now there are 2 teams currently on 2 points between Atlanta Fire, Baltimore Royals. Columbus Falcons, you think, are about out and done, especially if they don't manage to find a win in this game. But you take a look at those net run rates, and at the moment, Atlanta Fire's net run rate is quite low compared to the 2 teams in front of it. Lofted shot down the ground and absolutely glorious as this sails for 6 runs.
Gone a long way. Look at this, timed pretty well, targeted that area long off. And I hear shouts of catch it, catch what? Into the bushes, Manali. Lovely strike from Malik.
Well, we asked Tarek for run rate calculations, and he's just messaged and said Mangesh is the best with run rate calculations. Thanks, Tarek. I think I might have to message him now.
Yeah, I like how we're doing this relay thing. Started with me, Manali passes the baton on to me. I said, no, that's not my expertise. Certainly not. And now we've handed over to Mangesh. Well, we'll keep it going.
Might see a little bit of delay. They found this ball pretty quickly, but we've lost 1 ball so far. Needed a direct hit, and that would have been Gonski's.
They've taken the chance to one of the best fielder in the United States, Ken Jige. Now from where we're sitting here, Manali, had it not been for that little bit of awkward bunks, that was a very good throw from Ken Jige. We'll take a look again at that. Don't take chances on the arm of Ken Jige. He's one of the best in the country. Along with Ali Sheikh, of course. Ball turned into the onside in the region of a short backward square, and so the partnership continues to rise. 6-1 so far.
I think I figured out why it's a bit nicer in the other comm box with the AC and the windows closed. So we have a quick look at this. I think a direct hit would have been, yeah, gone by a mile. Yeah, completely given up on that. It's just a lot more pollen, isn't there, out here when you're exposed to it?
I've never had that problem. No allergies, no pollen issues. So anywhere I go, whether grass or whatever.
Pulled away. Quick hands and straight to the fielder for a single. I didn't have this issue either, actually, growing up in Kenya, but for the last, I'd say about 8 years now, I've started to develop these allergies in Canada. I guess it's just because you're not exposed to pollen all year round, and your body is, well, it needs the exposure. But you're in New York, so I'm surprised to hear that.
No problems at all with grass, trees, bushes, anything with that. Not at all. Not even eaten.
That's a wide, loose delivery.
So Kamal Passi is the bowler. Years ago, in fact, a couple of years ago, there was a Mohammed Kamal who bowled extremely well. Not too sure if it's him again, but we've seen another name, Kamal Passi. 68 for 1. They lost Stephen Taylor, and we've seen a very good fight back here from Saiteja Mukamala, U.S. international. Ahad Malik, who played a lot of local cricket. He's a good player. He's batted well so far.
Good delivery to finish the over. And that's going to be 8 overs gone, 69 for 1. Taking a look at the Worms at the moment, just the 1 wicket that's gone down for Atlanta Fire in the first over, Stephen Taylor. But they've managed to keep a fairly steady run rate, fairly neck and neck when it comes to the runs. But losing wickets compared to holding on to them is just such a big game changer. Back of a length, pulled away for another single.
Yeah, we saw when the Falcons was batting at this stage of the game, they're batting a 69 for 3. We saw a big partnership between Sharad and Agni Chopra. And we've seen another big partnership here between Malik and Mukamala. And it looks like we've seen some really big partnerships on this ground. You know, we saw a partnership of 148 yesterday for the opening wicket.
Slight misfield. It's not going to cost him. Right through the hands. Back of a length again. Not in the best of control this time. Abdullah.
Yeah, not a bad start here from Yasser. Well, he didn't look in full control of the ball so far, but you can't complain with a couple of runs in the first half of the over. He'll come into bowl to Mukamala at some point in time. Might have played age level cricket because they're both from New Jersey. Pulled away into the backward square area. Short ball, Monali. Was hanging in the air for some time.
Just a little frustration from the bowler as well. Yasser thinking that should have been taken had the fielder come in a little bit faster. I'm not so sure that trajectory would have allowed that sort of time. Great rotation of strike though, not allowing for themselves to get bogged down, still being able to put the bad ball away.
Yeah, good over here from Yasser Mohammed. But like anything else, Monali, we're beginning to see some control play from Malik and Mukamala. The odd boundaries has come, and we've seen a lot of rotation. Good batting.
Go in the gap again, and it should be a single to wrap up the over. 9 overs gone, 74 for 1. Take a quick look at the most runs. Highest run scorers, Unmuk Chand leading with 184. Excellent strike rate as well. Smith Patel next in line. You mentioned Smith Patel was dropped early yesterday afternoon, going on to get a big score. Arab Sai following after that, along with Mukhtar Ahmed, Sujit Nayak, and the list goes on. On the bowling front, most wickets, Aryan Nadkarni, 7 wickets, along with Mohammad Mohsin and Amila Ponzo's 3 wickets today, help him get into the leading wickets. Not surprised to see the likes of Amshita Silva, Harmid Badan, and the youngster Ritvik Apidi. That's a wide, and poor work by the keeper. 2 wides taken.
Yeah, ball going down the leg side. At least he would have kept it to just a wide. But it's called 2 wides and it's broken down, Manali, into, well, it's a wide and 1 by run. If that makes sense, but it's called 2 wides by the keeper. And so Isan Adil gets another ball. Let's see what he has done before. 2 overs, no made none for 18 so far.
Very well fielded. Full stretch dive. Need to find a way to create some dot ball pressure here. The Columbus Falcons. It's just a bit too easy to score runs for the Atlanta Fire. Excellent work, Lumba in the inner circle there. That's going to be another wide. That's sprayed by Isan Adil. Just continuing with that angle to the left-hander. It's 2 wides in the over so far.
Yeah, I'm wondering like many bowlers, no matter what level or what division you play, always have a little problem adjusting to the lane, especially when you're bowling to a right and a left. And he's throwing, we saw going down the leg side to Mukamala and coming way outside the off stump to the left-hander, Malik. A couple of wides in the over for him. In fact, 3 wides in this over so far.
Oh, nearly chopped on. Straighter delivery this time. Less of an angle.
Yeah, those tentative push doesn't get you anywhere a lot of time, Manali. They're famous for those drag-ons many times. And if you play like 50 over cricket or you play cricket when there's accordion, you always probably steer it into a man at gully, man at third slip. So those dabs are very dangerous at time.
It's just the school of thought has changed too, hasn't it, on playing those deliveries? Just past the outside edge. This is well bowled. Back in the day, you would have said to get in line of the ball, to, you know, punch it off that back foot where you like. Now we're saying give yourself some room.
Yes, coming across a lot of time, and a lot of time you see batters, you think they come across, but I look at their back foot. Back foot is what gets you across. If you think you can reach the ball with just your front foot, you're stretching, and that's not good.
Well, that's just the thing, right? That's what's changed. That's exactly what's changed. You were told to get in line of the ball, get close to the ball. Now a lot of that has changed, and now you're actually telling players to give themselves a bit of room, so that foot doesn't actually go in line, doesn't get as close to the ball as it used to. Because what that does is then that opens up your ability to hit the ball anywhere you like, whether it's from the off all the way down to the leg. Just gives you the ability to swing those arms freely.
So we've seen a good over here from Isan Adil, barring the wides. Still a couple of balls remaining. Mukamala comes back into strike, and this has been a quiet over here for the Atlanta Fire, but the Falcons will be quite happy with the way Isan Adil has gone.
This has been picked up, and it's going to go all the way for 6 as well. Great shot, and a lot of confidence on this, and this over seems to be going on and on.
A lengthy over, but look at this, a massive shot from Mukamala. He always finds the sweet spot, Mukamala. And that's a lovely strike for a maximum. This over's now gone for 10. With still a ball remaining, Atlanta Fire. They're off to a good recovery here. A 79-run partnership between Mukamala and Malik. And it's been a long time when we call the dismissal of Stephen Taylor. What a recovery here from Atlanta Fire.
Not the best of lines. Gets away with this. I'm not sure how close the direct hit would have been. It is going to be a single to end a very lengthy over. Halfway point, 10 overs gone. It's 85 for 1. Here's the throw. Let's see how close this would have been with a direct hit. No, it would have been home comfortably in the end. Yasser Mohammed back in the attack. Tidy first over with just the 5 runs coming off of it. Pushed. In the gap for another single. Just not allowed for themselves to get bogged down, and if you're the bowling side here, you've got to try and create some pressure. It's just too easy at the moment.
Yeah, we've seen a really good knock from Mukamala and Malik. Today the Atlanta Fire has gone with Malik at the top order. We saw yesterday Sagar Patel into the offside, leading edge, and Malik falls. And the big partnership of 8-1 comes to an end. Very soft dismissal. Yasser Mohammed, the man with the golden arm for the time being, 86 for 2.
Oh, I said they needed a wicket, they needed a breakthrough, they needed to change something. And this is a big change. Needed to break this partnership desperately. The Columbus Falcons. That's 86 for 2. And the game might just swing. We know there's a lot of batting in this Atlanta Fire side.
Yeah, Pinar comes to the middle. Still a lot of batting to come. Sagar Patel, Zishan Maksud, of course. Shadley, we know his exploit with the bat. Paul Palmer as a specialist batter. And so, of course, a lot of batting to come here for the Atlanta Fire. So, Falcons has effected a breakthrough through the leg spin of Yasser Mohammed. Took them a while. And that 81-run partnership comes to an end courtesy of Yasser Mohammed.
Obus Pinar can hit a long ball. Tall man, long levers. Saw him hit quite a few runs yesterday on the ground behind us. If you're Columbus Falcons, you're thinking you need this man back in the pavilion as soon as possible. Taking quite a bit of time here to set the field. We've had this discussion a few times during this Houston Open. Ambitious first delivery, first shot from Obus Pinar. But we've spoken about this over rate. That seems to be a consistent issue with the teams. Taking his eyes completely off that delivery. We'll get off the mark with this one though. Down the ground for single.
Yeah, Pinar brings a lot of strength to this Atlanta Fire team. And as you made mention, Manali had a good knock on the other ground. Still some ways to go, 74 to win. So 11 gone, it's 87 for 2.
Kajiki coming back into the attack. Now that run rate, fairly par with the required run rate, just starting to slow the momentum down with that wicket. But you think that might be fairly temporarily lived if these two build a partnership.
Yeah, we saw the...
Here's that slowdown again with setting the field.
Yeah, we saw the current run rate and the required run rate. A little bit of seesaw between them. One goes to 8, the other one goes to 7.7. Right now, they're going at 7.7 and the other one is 8.3 required rate.
Watchful from Obis Pinar. 2 deliveries in. Right through the gate, and this is an absolute ripper of a delivery. Kenjige drawing Obis Pinar nice and forward and then beating him with the turn. What an excellent delivery.
Yeah, not too across from Pinar. We'll look at the back foot. Not at all, not too much movement. Look at that. And what a ripper of a ball from the leg spinner. Pitched, good line, good length, turned, and the off stump is knocked back. What a delivery from Kenjige. Pinar gone. It's 87 for 3.
Two wickets in quick succession here, and Columbus Falcons just trying to get back in the game. Let's see if we can try and get a replay of that wicket one more time, because it's an excellent delivery. As we see Zishan Maksud walk out to the middle. It's the length that draws Obis Pinar forward. A little bit of turn, and Obis Pinar just plays down the wrong line of that delivery.
And you can see it's a balance problem. Look, look when the ball strikes the off stump, he's all fallen down. What a ball, a ripper of a delivery. A brilliant ball from Kenjige. And now Zishan Maksud has come to the middle. So pressure on the Atlanta Fire. We talked about big partnership between Mukamala and Malik. And they have lost 2 wickets in the space of 1 run, Manali. You get the feeling that Atlanta Fire, probably all they need is to knock it around for long enough. Run a ball will push them very close to the target. And in doing so, Manali, I'm pretty sure that 1 or 2 boundaries will come along its way.
ball hit into this comm box yet? No.
Actually, I was thinking that last night. I said I haven't seen a ball come up the hill.
I mean, we're right at the slog sweep zone. We're fairly close to that cow corner range, aren't we?
Well, it would have gone. I mean, I've seen a
Really?
I've seen a lot of ball go towards the side screen area. But I was thinking that even last night that I haven't seen a ball come uphill.
Yeah, we were smacked in the comm box there behind a couple of times yesterday. Not so much on the glass, but nice big loud thud.
Yeah, this has been a really good over from Kenjige. The 12th comes to an end. And Manali, we're talking about run a ball, but has run a ball become the difficult part of batting now with so much lofty hitting and the thing to go very quickly?
We're just seeing that run rate now below what it was for that first innings, but I still don't think I think it's still too early to panic. Yeah, you've lost 3 wickets. We've got 90 runs on the board. We've got a lot of batting in this side as well. Sure, you've lost the likes of Obis Pinar, but these two are very handy. Zishan Maksud is seasoned campaigner. Saiteja Mukamala knows how to pace the innings, knows how to get his side over the line. Sharad Lumba starts well with a dot as this is worked into the leg side for a single. I think if they can continue doing that, just keep rotating that strike, it won't matter that that required run rate's a little bit higher. T20 cricket, you got wickets in hand, you can completely capitalize on that towards the death end.
Yeah, you're right. They've done the first phase pretty well. We come into this middle phase here, a couple of wickets fall within the space of 1 run. Sharad Lumba probably taking the chance to come in to bowl to Zishan Maksud. In particular, we talk about those matchups between off spinners and left-handers in the game.
And that's it. Just keep doing that for a few more overs, get another partnership going.
Yeah, they've still got the likes of Sagar Patel, who we saw open the baton yesterday. Paul Palmer, he's a specialist. Shadley, he's a quality player. And then it goes down to the likes of Usman Rafiq and Drysdale. This over's gone pretty well here for Sharad. The off spinner, and I get the feeling, Manali, this game is going to go all the way down to perhaps the latter stages. Mukamala is still out in the middle. He will probably help the cause for the Atlanta Fire the longer he stays out in the middle. But we've seen very good spin bowling from the likes of Kenjige and now Sharad Lumba. We'll have to wait and see what plays out in the next couple of overs. But so far, Mukamala has looked solid. We saw earlier on given a life when he was on 9, so he has made them pay for it.
Oh, a bit of extra bounce there to the fielder. 4 runs come off the over. 13 overs gone, it's 94 for 3.
So Kenjige will continue. He will finish up here 1 for 21 off 3 overs from Nosh. Come into bowl to Saiteja Mukamala. Mukamala is in the 40s. Oh, advances down the track, hits it out of the playing area. And that is gone for 6. Yasser Mohammed had a little bit of play, but in the end, umpire Cameron Bess, he goes upstairs. And a lovely strike coming down the track from Saiteja Mukamala. You look at that, a valiant attempt by Yasser Mohammed. And it's gone for 6. The 100 comes up, and it's 100 for 3 in the early stages of the 14th over. Now it's 101 for 3. We've seen a really good knock from Saiteja Mukamala. Maksud has just come to the crease, and folks, if you're wondering, the 3 wickets falls. Stephen Taylor without scoring. Malik for 44 batted well, and Pinar didn't last too long. Made a 5-ball 1. Oh, big strike from Zishan Maksud, but he picks out mid-on. And another wicket falls for the Atlanta Fire. Maksud gone.
Big moment as Atlanta Fire have now lost their 4th wicket. Zishan Maksud, I said he was a seasoned campaigner, just gets it too high on the bat as that bottom knee gives way, and this is a very well judged catch in the deep. They're in a bit of trouble here, Atlanta Fire.
Kind of surprised that Zishan Maksud would have hauled out in the deep. He's such a more calculated player, looking for runs in the interior. And we just saw a ball or so ago, Mukamala getting a big 6, and at a time in which they're still targeting just about 8 runs and over. And might have been cross with himself when he decided shot selection there. 101 for 4. Paul Palmer comes to the middle, and they still need 60 runs to win.
When they might still cross over the line, Paul Palmer walking out. The issue, though, is that net run rate that we've been talking about.
Yeah, Paul Palmer comes to the middle. I remember many years ago, we used to have a player from Jamaica, Dixon Palmer. And he used to tell us that he's got a nephew who plays very good cricket and was very close to getting that Jamaican junior call-up. And years later, we found out he was talking about this man on strike, Paul Palmer.
That is very well bowled. Keeping those stumps in contention. Kenjige. Keeps low as well, and that could be slightly worrying signs for the second game. It is going to get a bit of a roll in between the 2 games, but just play some mind games when you see the odd one keep low like that. That's a wide and a big one. from Nostrish Kinjige.
Yeah, Kenjige has picked up a couple of wickets so far. Playing a miss here from Paul Palmer. Saiteja on the 48, approaching a half century. When I came to the park this morning, I counted 13 half century in the tournament so far. A couple of runs more, and Mukamala will probably make that 14.
Single to end the over. 14 overs gone. It's 105 for 4.
We have it, folks. Mukamala not out on 48. And we have seen a very good knock earlier on from Malik. Also, he got into the 40s. But the situation is 56 needed from the remaining 6 overs. And it's a game that is pretty open and too close to call. The bowling so far, we've seen a couple of wickets from Nosh Kenjige. He's done. And so they will have to find bowlers to come up with those set of overs. We saw one for 7 from Yasser Mohammed. And it's Yasser who has been given the ball again to continue. Lots to play for in this game, as we've been telling you from a points perspective. Both teams looking to move ahead in this competition.
High up on the bat, not in total control, and he'll still manage to get it over the rope. One-handed effort in the deep.
Yeah, Paul Palmer might have been quite nervous there. Didn't middle it at all, but good enough to carry over the ropes. Fielder coming in, 111 for 4. Palmer, his first boundary of the innings so far. It's a maximum.
To the offside this time. And in the gap as well. Well timed. Make that 10 runs off 2 deliveries.
Yeah, we saw yesterday Paul Palmer got off to a little bit of slow start, but was able to get a few runs in. And he's come out here, a couple of balls in this over, gone for 10. 2 balls, gone for 10. So that equation comes down to 46 runs needed, Manali.
Around the ground, Paul Palmer. That one into the leg side, backward of square. The hair looks like it's going to take a lot of maintenance.
You're right on that. These young boys. These young boys.
I have noticed a trend with the youngins here. In the gap, not. Oh, that is very unlucky. That is extremely unlucky. Did the hard work of getting there and then just fumble, and over the rope for 4 more.
So the
big over.
So Mukamala comes up with a big 50. He's on 52. A lovely shot, pulled into the square leg area. Fielder came around, could have prevented the boundary, probably would have still given Mukamala that 50. He needed 2. And he was all tangled up with that ball. All tangled up. He decides to crawl because he can't get up in time to get to that ball. Crawled the way through. But in the end, well played half century from Mukamala.
Excellent stuff. 52 of 37 deliveries. He's anchored the innings, part of a really good partnership as well early on with Malik, and he knows he's key for his side to get over the line here.
Yeah, this over's gone for 16 from Yasser Mohammed. He's been tidy before. First over went for 5, second over went for 2, and then this one has gone for 16 at a time in which we're beginning to see a pull away here from the Atlanta Fire.
2 straight, and this is flicked well. Off the pads for a couple of runs to end a very expensive over. 15 overs gone, it's 123 for 4. I don't have the angle on the other side of that to tell, but it has been claimed as 2 runs instead of 4. I was saying though, I have noticed a trend with the youngins. They all seem to have a lot of hair on the top of their head. And it doesn't look simple to upkeep either. I think Utkarsh Srivastava might be the only one with short hair.
Yeah, you're right. And now you look at Paul Palmer. He carries some locks there too. Yeah, we've seen the younger boys, and when I do commentary for the games in the East, I kind of pick them out quite quickly, and they flaunt it because they don't wear caps, they don't wear hat. As in the case of Yasser Mohammed, but
Well, yeah, it messes up the hair.
yeah, the only there's another lad. I'm trying to Anirudh Emmanuel, and his name wasn't coming to my mind for a while. And the reason why I want to mention Anirudh Emmanuel, he plays in the Northeast. He's been picked for the first time for Major League, and he carries one of those hairstyles. And one of the only way we'll probably pick out Emmanuel is his hairdo. That's so easy. And so Yasser Mohammed is one of them. Yeah, you talk about the upkeep. Might be quite a bit of those allowances that the parents give them to really use up on their hair. It looks like Kamal Passi has been given the ball, and 38 to win.
He'll have to run in again.
Yeah, we've seen a lovely game of cricket so far. We've seen a really good knock from Mukamala. And earlier on, we were seeing a chart of some of the top run scorer of the tournament. Unmuk Chan up there. Unmuk Chan, of course, the highest individual, scored 2. With 93, missed out on a chance to get 100 yesterday.
Wow, that is a big wide. Absolutely massive.
Yeah, here again, we could find that the bowlers will have some bit of adjustment to do the line as Palmer and Mukamala left and right. And how many times Manali, even at the international level, bowlers find it hard to adjust to the lines.
Well played, and great awareness to come through for a quick single.
Yeah, you look at Paul Palmer. One of the reasons probably he's in the side. He's a specialist middle order player. Not an explosive type, but certainly gets the work done. A man who's played for Jamaica, the first class level in the Caribbean, and also for the CCC, the college team back in the Caribbean. As we all well aware, they used to form one of the first class team in the West Indies. And
That's going to be another wide. Just struggling to find his line here, isn't he, Kamal?
Yeah, we've seen 3 wides for him so far. And it comes at a time in which they're defending their remaining 34. Earlier on, folks, we saw a very good knock from from Sharad Lumba, who got 37, and we saw a good knock from Agni Chopra, 47.
Pulled away. And a rocket throw back to get it past the keeper.
So win here for the Atlanta Fire. We'll take them up to the level.
4 points.
Yeah, we'll take them up to 4 points, and they'll be tied with PRG and Bay Blazers. And by the way, got a big game coming up next here.
Pulled away, and in the gap, Paul Palmer is going to pick up 4 more for his side. This has raced away with some speed for 4.
Yeah, this outfield is very fast, Manali. One of the observations I've made to you is that we've got a faster outfield here on 6 than yours on 5, yours and Brian. Tad slow or a little bit slow, especially with, I think Pv6 is a little bit more spongy and grassy. This one is a little bit more firm. I love this ground, by the way. I told you that a couple of times already. Lovely shot from Paul Palmer. And just from 9 balls, he scored 19. So he's played a very good hand here. And they've brought the equation down to 29 to win.
Just limping here, and this could be bad signs. Just on that follow through, Kamal.
Yeah, when we played on official street cricket, Manali, we were told if you're struggling and you're giving away a lot of runs, limp, we'll take you off. We'll replace you with somebody else who can bowl and finish the over. But not too sure if...
it's the same thing happening here. They are going to get someone to come and finish this over. But from the context of the tournament, you've still got a few more days of cricket left. You never want to see an injury that's going to take a player off the field. 2 deliveries to come, and we're going to see a replacement change in the bowling. Kolipaka comes in with the ball. Shreyan's Kolipaka.
Yeah, a lot of time. This will create a little bit of adjustment from these scoring apps. A lot of scoring apps don't do it too well. So let's watch for that. But my scoring app has already switched to Shreyan's Kolipaka, and who's been given the responsibility to finish this last 2 balls of this over, which has gone pretty well for Paul Palmer. A boundary in this over. We've seen several wides from Kamal Passi. So here we go, new bowler.
Power. Raw power off the bat of Paul Palmer, as this has been pummeled for 6.
A lot of time you play the game, and you play the game the Australian way. And they've always felt that once a new bowler comes on, you've got to target him. No matter who he is, a new bowler, target him. That's exactly what you need to do. Lovely shot from Paul Palmer.
Lovely doesn't seem like the right word. Bludgeoned. I think we're going to need another ball, as we see one of the umpires running off the field. So that'll be 2 balls lost so far in the game.
Well, I was kind of surprised. Yesterday, we've seen some lofty hitting. We saw several 6s, well, the day before from Mukhtar Ahmed. 8 6s in one game. And several times it was so counterproductive because we thought, and when you do commentary, Monali, don't you love some short games? So we were thinking with all these 6s, Mukhtar Ahmed would have given us a break between games. Of course, we're doing 3 games a day, so you wanted a little reprieve. But when the search party had to go for the ball, we were begging Mukhtar, please don't hit it so hard again, because you're hitting it. The scores are coming closer, but we're spending 50 minutes searching for that ball. Please don't hit it so far.
Try and hit it just over the rope.
Correct.
Is
Or
what
on the
you're
other
saying.
side.
That's right. Well, yeah, when you're doing 3 games a day, it is a very long day. Which is why that over rate, you want it to keep ticking along.
Yeah, I've done. And I was telling you while we were coming here, Manali, I do a little bit of umpiring here and there. And sometimes you go to the park, there are doubleheader games, and sometimes there are some short games. But there are times when 7 wickets would fall and the tail ender comes on and hold on and block all the overs out. So
New ball in hand. He's got one more delivery to finish this over. Pulled away. Does it have the legs to get over the rope? Not quite, but that's thanks to a really good effort in the deep to keep it inside the rope. That's going to be a single to end the over. It's a big over as well. 16 overs gone, 139 for 4.
Look, to be honest, I love it. I go to your place over there. I don't like the custom. Quiet. It's too quiet.
Siddhant Shah into the attack as they switch up their bowlers here, Columbus Falcons. Not too far away from that target now, Atlanta Fire. Oh, that's a bit of extra bounce, and it surprised absolutely everyone. And this is going to be buys. Unlucky for the keeper. Buys it is.
Yeah, I've always tried to pick up the keeper. I know Monank is not with the glove. Monank.
Jesus, come in and bounced.
So they go closer home, the Atlanta Fire.
That's going to be a wide, just a bit too far this time. After a really good first delivery. Just wait on our scorer to be able to adjust as well, because it still says Shreyans is bowling this over.
Yeah, folks, it's 141 for 4. They need 20 to win. Number 42, the jerseys matches a name that we would call Siddhant Shah, so bear with us there. Manali, in the meantime, Saiteja Mukamala has really played a good hand. He's undefeated on 54. And it looks like it's going to be a match-winning knock here for Saiteja Mukamala to get the Fire across the line.
Just really keen to see the points table at the end of this game. See where Atlanta Fire will sit once they cross over the line in this game. flighted delivery. This has turned out to be a very good over. He's got one more delivery to come to finish this on a high.
Yeah, I get the feeling that Paul Palmer may approach the bowling here of Sid Shah a little bit different. One ball remaining still, but Paul Palmer's really played a good hand. 14 balls, 25.
I needed a good ball. Instead, it's wide. He'll have to re-bowl that one. Good delivery to finish the over. If it wasn't for the two wides, it would have been an excellent over. 17 overs gone, 145 for 4.
Manali, you look at the Falcons' body language and the way things have gone, not too sure where Sid Shah would have featured into the bowling attack. Have they given up?
It's just hard, isn't it, when you know that they need 16 more runs from here on. They have 3 full overs to go and plenty of wickets at bay, ready to come in when needed. Just the 4 wickets so far on that white worm. And you can see the upward movement as well. Came down just a little bit lower than that red worm during the 3 wickets that were lost, and then they have regained momentum again. Thanks to this partnership, an effective one between Paul Palmer and Saiteja Mukamala.
Yeah, 44-run partnership. Second big one we've seen in the innings so far. Both of them, of course, involving Mukamala. 81 between him and Malik earlier on as Yasir Mohammed comes in back for another spell.
Down on one knee, goes up and over, down the ground, and make that a maximum. Saiteja Mukamala in a bit of a rush to finish this game now. 10 runs away.
Yeah, superb shot again from Mukamala. And that's his third 6, Manali. 5 fours for him. Along with Stephen Taylor, started from the very start.
Quicker delivery. Yasir Mohammed. Latched onto this, and there's a pretty good example of what I was saying earlier. Players are now not necessarily getting in line of the ball, but just giving themselves the room to be able to free their arms.
Yeah, you want to clear the path of the bat. Bat is the, it's the bat that will hit the ball. And so you've got to make that clearance. 150, over 150 on the board, Manali.
Pulled away. There is protection in the deep. Got away with that delivery. The power of Palmer.
Yeah, this is a very good comeback knock for Paul Palmer. We saw yesterday, he struggled a little bit in the early stages and then came towards the end, hit a few blows here and there, but today he was quite fluent. In fact, you look at his score so far, he's up to 30 from I think 18 balls, so he's really done well.
Hits the ball so hard, doesn't he, Paul Palmer? Quick hands as well through the ball. Pick up 2 runs. End of the 18th over, it's 156 for 4. Just 5 runs away from that target of 161. That's going to sail over. And that should also close the game. Atlanta Fire finishes game in proper style. Citasia Mukamala finishing with 69 off 47.
Yeah, massive shot to end the game. And why not off the bat of Mukamala? Really carried the Atlanta Fire. Been there from the start along with Stephen Taylor. And look, he's walking off, not out, having won the game. And this is a big moment here for the Atlanta Fire. Won by 6 wickets. We talked about they're the defending champions with the Houston Open minor league winner this last year. So the batting card certainly dominated by Mukamala, 68, 69. And a good knock from him. Malik played a very good hand for 44. But look at Paul Palmer, who came and made sure that he sealed the deal with 32 towards the end. Big performance here from the Atlanta Fire. They win by some balls here.
Slightly different story for the bowlers. Started well, picked up an early wicket, but just never really got the momentum. We're lacking runs in the end. A couple of wickets to Ehsan Adil, 3 to Kamal, who was the impact player, and a wicket to Kenjige. Confirmation, Columbus Falcons put on 160 for 9 in the first innings, and Atlanta Fire batting just too strong as they wrap this game up with 162 and just the 4 wickets lost. A really good knock from Citasia Mukamala, 69 off 47 for him. In the end, Atlanta Fire, they've won this game with 6 wickets in hand. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have the second game of the day. Catch it! That is an absolute sitter. That's gone down. Calls for catch it. Call the catch. Tossed up. This is up in the air. There is a fielder getting under it. Just out of the reach. And it's also going to run.
Maybe a hybrid and a synthetic somewhere along the line.
Oh, what a ripper. That has beaten absolutely everything. Emilio Ponzo is spinning a web out there and very unlucky. Quicker. And he's latched onto this. It's going to go all the way for 6 runs. Two straight. And helped along the way. Just started. Down the ground, there is a fielder, and that's going to be wicket number 2. Going one too many times, Quinward. That's going to go for 4. Cut away powerfully. What a spectacular catch that is. They are falling like flies at the moment, the Columbus Falcons. Stephen Taylor also part of the wicket takers now.
So punt through the cover area, and it will run away for 4. So not a good start here from Chapman.
Pulled away, goes for the short delivery. It will run away for 4 runs. That's picked up beautifully, and it's going to sail all the way for 6 runs. This is a really good shot. It's squeezed for 4 runs. Big shout. Umpire says not out. Tossed up 2 straight and helped away for 4 runs. That's biggie, and that's going to lead runs. Pulls to catch it, but that is clean as a whistle. It's going to run away. Strength training is so important. This is a massive one. A long way past that boundary. Zishan Maksud.
Very fast bowler back in his days.
That's plumb. Surely that big flashing shot with no control. That should have been taken, and that's gone down. That's this bit too short, and that's gonna run away. Believe that.
Like
Faintest of edges, and that's a really well taken catch behind in the gap, and that pressure has been released. That's gonna run away for 4. Nothing unconventional about that one, and he has taken a very comfortable catch for 6.
a lot more in their crease and playing so late. Lovely shot again from Yasser Mohammed. It will run away. We'll wait for the signal here from umpire Ravi gone for 4. We want to be able to get fully under the ball. Oh, that's a lovely punch into the offside. Fielder comes in, takes the catch. And what was looking at as a very good knock here from the 6th.
Leg side, and this is a very, very good shot. Well, that's going to be 4 more. That one's going to be taken, and it is Paul Palmer who finally gets his luck. Seems to be the lone appealer on that one, and the umpire says not out, and that's no real control on this. Should be taken, and is taken by Zishad Maksoud. Slapped down the ground, straight as you like, and this is going to run away for a boundary. This has been picked up beautifully. It's going to fly away for 6 runs. Just manages to get this over the bowler's head. It's twice now. That's going to be the first runs on the board. Straight into the hands, and this is a very poor shot. Had all the time in the world to put this away anywhere near the flag, Stephen Taylor instead finds up and over and just inside the rope. It's gonna go down the ground, calls for catching it. It is high in the air with the fielder getting under it, and he has made an absolute meal of this.
Oh, lovely strike. That's truly offside and gone for 4. Lovely strike from Ahad Malik.
So similar shot again, giving himself some room.
Pulled away. Lovely shot from Mukamala. He finds the backward square area and got away. Petal Santos. Lovely strike from Ahad Malik. Gone for a maximum. And I talked about pulled away. That's a lovely shot from Malik. Got away for 4. Terrible. I was gonna give you that job to figure out.
That's gonna go for 4. It's the infield and lofted shot down the ground, and absolutely glorious as this sail. Oh, nearly chopped on. Straighter delivery. This has been picked up, and it's gonna go all the way for 6 as well. Great shot. A lot of
The ball that we saw yesterday. Sagar Patel into the offside leading edge, and Malik falls. And the big partner
right through the gate. This is an absolute ripper of a delivery.
advances down the track, hits it out of the playing area, and that is gone for 6. Yasser Mohammed had it. Oh, big strike from Zishan Maxoud, but he picks out mid-on, and another wicket for the Atlantic.
High up on the bat, not in total control, and still managed to get it over the rope. The offside this time. In the gap as well, well timed. In the gap, not. Oh, that is very unlucky. That is extreme. Pulled away and in the gap. Cole Palmer's going to pick up 4 more for his side. Power. Raw power off the bat. Pulled away. Doesn't have the legs to get over the rope. Not quite, but that's thanks to a really good effort in the deep to keep it inside the rope. Down on one knee, goes up and over, down the ground, and make that a maximum. That's going to sail over, and that should also close the game. Atlanta